Monaco, 2 hours before lights out. A courier shoves a thick envelope into Haruto's chest. He tears it open. Divorce decree, signed by Sakura, dated this morning. His hands don't shake. Across the harbor, Sakura laughs into her phone, mascara already smudged, as if she hasn't a care. Kazuki smirks on the other end, his leg in a cast, his rival's wife in his ear.
Haruto, Kazuki's down. Scooter crash. You are in the car for Monaco. 2 hours. Move. The same morning she handed me divorce papers. 3 years in the sim. Every wet corner memorized. They called me the practice dummy.
He pockets the decree, helmet under arm, and walks into the garage. The rain starts to fall.
I'll race. I'll show them all.
Haruto, the reserve driver, was starting the Monaco Grand Prix, and the woman who just left him was cheering for another man.
He thinks I am in the hotel, sobbing over the papers, but I am already yours, Kazuki. Tonight we go public.
After he crashes, I'll retire. We'll go public. He's nothing but a ghost in my seat.
Her phone screen glowed with an unread message from Kazuki. Can't wait to see you tonight, Sakura.
That warmth. It was never meant for me.
Qualifying. Rain hammered the circuit. Haruto's car slid, fighting for grip, but his mind was far away. When the clock stopped, his name sat at 14th. The garage fell silent.
She's probably watching, laughing with him.
In a hotel room, Sakura stared at the timing screen. Her face was pale. Her phone buzzed with another message. Don't worry, he'll fail.
Relax. Sakura. By the first corner, he'll be swimming. Our future starts tonight.
I've memorized every wet line. 3 years of being the dummy. Now I'll make them swallow their laughter.
Lights out. The field funneled into Saint Devote, spray swallowing the cars. Haruto fell to 15th, fighting the wheel, cold and silent. The track was a river. Every braking zone a gamble. His mirrors filled with headlights, closing fast. Normal drivers would crumble.
They said I couldn't drive in rain. They never saw my sim runs. 3 years of tire data, buried in my skull.
Nights in the simulator, alone. Memorizing the exact moment the wet tires began to grain, the precise lap when slicks would come alive. By lap 10, the lead cars dived into the pit lane. Mechanics scrambled, wet tires ready. The call came for Haruto, loud and clear.
If I pit now, I seal another miserable finish. But the simulator says the crossover is just a few laps away. Haruto, box now for wets. All cars ahead have pitted. We need you in. Negative. I am staying out. The slicks will come to me.
The radio went silent. He was the only car on dry weather tires, skating on a river, with no one ahead but the rain.
They'll call me insane. But I've been invisible my whole career. Nothing changes today except the finish order.
The track began to dry. The wet-shod cars ahead started to struggle, their tires overheating. Haruto's slicks, once a liability, now gripped like claws.
The sim was right. Lap 16. The crossover. Now they're sliding, and I am glued.
He passed 3 cars at Massenet, their drivers flailing on the wrong rubber. By the end of the lap, he was up to 12th.
Haruto, we see your pace, but rain is returning. Box this lap while you still can. Number. The data says another 10 laps. I'll stay.
Let him stay. He knows this track better than anyone in this garage.
Reina's voice, calm and absolute, silenced the engineer. Her eyes never left the timing screen.
Why would the team principal back a reserve driver? Something doesn't add up.
On her hotel television, Sakura bit her lip until it bled. Haruto's name was now 10th. Her phone buzzed with Kazuki's panic. He's climbing. Stop him. Stop him.
Whatever her game, I'll play it. For now, her support keeps me in this race.
Haruto sliced through the midfield, each pass a scalpel cut. By lap 25, he was 7th, the car dancing on the edge of grip.
We knew this day would come. Drive your race.
Knew what? That I'd be here? That she'd leave me?
The radio clicked, silent. No explanation followed, only the growl of the engine and the screaming rain. In the hospital room, Kazuki's smirk froze. The monitor showed Haruto's name climbing, a blade aimed at his throat.
Kazuki, he's not stopping. I can't do this.
Shut up. He'll crash. He's nothing.
Sakura dropped the phone. On the screen, Haruto set the fastest lap. Her hands shook, the divorce papers still on the nightstand.
Reina's words. Not a promise, a warning. Something bigger is at play.
He pushed harder. The rain returned, and with it, a new reckless fury. Haruto wasn't just racing anymore. He was hunting. He lunged into the swimming pool chicane, daring the barrier. His car snapped sideways, then bit another driver left in his spray.
2 weeks ago, I found her phone. Messages to Kazuki. Can't wait to see you. The exact words she denied.
He never confronted her. He buried himself in the simulator, memorizing rain lines. Silence was his only weapon. Lap 35. Casino Square. Haruto threaded the car inside a rival. Wheels inches apart. He was now fifth.
Your time is now, Haruto. Show them what the sim taught you.
Her voice. It's like she knows. But why now? Why not before?
The night he found the texts, Haruto said nothing. He went to the simulator and didn't stop until dawn.
I'll pay them back. Not with words. With every corner.
The timing screen flickered. Haruto, P5. The garage erupted. But in the cockpit, there was only cold, quiet hunger. He didn't celebrate. He aimed for the next car. The podium was a target. Lap 42. Haruto pounced on the fourth-place car at Raskas, then lined up third into the tunnel exit. The screen flickered. P3.
Haruto, what I am about to say will change everything. Listen.
His voice came back flat, almost disinterested. Say it.
Kazuki's crash was staged. He sabotaged his own knee to force a new contract with the rival team.
He crippled himself. To leave me in his wake.
And Sakura. They've been together for months. We've known. We chose to protect you by making you first.
So the divorce, the affair, it was all a game to him.
A cold clarity settled over him. He was not the spare. He was the weapon.
Then I'll be the weapon they forged. I'll take everything from them.
Third place was only the next step. He aimed the car at the leader and pushed the throttle to the floor.
You were always our number one for next year. The contract was already signed. Kazuki found out and tried to destroy you.
Months ago, Reina slid a contract across the desk. Driver number 1 in black ink, Haruto's name beneath. He stared, not believing.
So the seat was already mine. He knew his time was over. That's why he took her. Not just a betrayal. A campaign to break me. And they almost succeeded. They will pay. Both of them. I'll make sure of it.
He closed on the second-place car, the gap shrinking with each braking zone. No one had ever driven like this at Monaco. At Mirabeau, he dove inside, wheels screaming against the barrier. The rival driver blinked. Haruto was through. The timing screen flashed. P2. Only the championship leader remained ahead, 5 seconds up the road.
5 seconds. Nothing. I've waited 3 years. 5 seconds is nothing.
He had become a predator, and the final prey was in sight. At Tabak, the rear snapped. The barrier rushed at him, a heartbeat from disaster. He caught the slide. His hands were ice on the wheel. The car shuddered, but he held it. The gap to the leader shrank to 3 seconds.
That morning, her voice. Sign these. I am done. No tears. Just cold finality.
He almost let go then. Almost. But the track demanded his blood, and he gave it.
Play it safe. A podium is respectable. They'd expect me to settle, but respect never won anything. Not in racing. Not in life.
5 laps remained. The rain had become a curtain. The championship leader was a ghost in the spray.
I'll risk everything. The car can break. I can crash, but I will not finish second.
He pressed the throttle to the stop. The engine wailed. The decision was made.
They will watch me win. and they will remember this day.
The engine temperature needle stabbed the red zone. Red lights strobed across the dashboard like a heartbeat of death. The radio crackled, Haruto. Box immediately. The engine is cooking. You'll DNF.
It's all or nothing. Finish this race, no matter the cost.
Let it melt. I've burned everything else. The engine is just another sacrifice.
He thumbed the radio off. The engine screamed. The car hurtled into the darkness. The leader's red taillights a beacon.
If I pit, I prove them right. A reserve driver settling for points. I'd rather finish in flames.
The gap dissolved to a single second. The leader's diffuser glinted through the spray. The final lap board flashed. Lap 78/78. The circuit held its breath.
Swimming pool. I'll take him there. The same chicane they said I'd crash at.
The leader's red taillights burned ahead. Haruto's fingers tightened on the wheel. This was it. The swimming pool chicane rose ahead, a wet serpent between barriers. In his mind, the simulator's perfect line glowed.
Brake at the 50-meter board, not the 100. The inside curb is dry enough. Trust the data.
3 years of simulator runs. Every bump, every puddle, etched into his nerves.
They called me the practice dummy, but I practiced for this exact corner, this exact rain.
He dove into the braking zone, later than anyone had ever dared. The barriers a blur.
The leader blinked, covered the inside. I'll take the outside.
Haruto swung the car wide, then cut back, wheels almost kissing the guardrail. The crowd held its breath. The two cars, nose to nose, mirrored in the wet asphalt.
This is the moment. Everything I've buried comes to life.
He pressed the throttle, the engine screaming. The car slid alongside, the championship leader just a shadow in his peripheral. Through the chicane they flew, side by side, inches apart. Haruto's front wheel edged ahead, a knife blade in the rain. The champion's red car buckled, conceding the exit. Haruto surged past, a blur of navy and crimson.
Clear. The track is mine.
The checkered flag fell. Haruto's car crossed the line, the world a roar of noise and color. The timing screen froze. P1, Haruto. Monaco Grand Prix winner. In the cockpit, his hands trembled. The engine cooled, steam hissing. Silence, then a scream.
I told you. I told you all.
Tears mixed with sweat and rain. 3 years of silence, shattered in one guttural cry.
This is my seat now. Mine.
He sat motionless, the weight of victory crushing him. The garage beyond was a blur, but he saw only two faces. He climbed the podium steps, the trophy placed in his hands. The crowd roared his name, but he heard nothing.
They're watching. Good. Let them see what they tried to destroy.
He raised the trophy high, then slowly, deliberately, aimed it at the distant garage. The gesture was a blade. His lips moved silently, a single word cold as the rain. Betrayal. In the garage, Sakura's phone slipped from her hand. It shattered on the floor, but she didn't blink. Her tears cut mascara tracks like scars. Beside her, Kazuki's fist met wall. Bone crunched, blood trailed down the white plaster, staining his legacy.
Every night, every morning, this image will live in their heads. The ghost they tried to bury.
Champagne erupted. Confetti swirled, but Haruto's arm never wavered. The celebration was a funeral for their lies. Sakura sank to the floor, her sobs swallowed by the crowd's roar. Kazuki stared at his shredded knuckles, a king dethroned. Haruto stepped off the podium, the cold smirk carved into his face. The revenge was just beginning. He returned to his car, champagne still wet on his suit. The engine hummed toward the main grandstand. Stopping in front of the crowd, he pulled out a document, the 3-year contract already signed by the team.
Today, I bury every doubt, every whisper that I was just a ghost.
He laid it on the steering wheel. A pen appeared from his suit. Cameras rushed in like hungry wolves. He pressed the pen to the signature line. The world held its breath, flashes strobing through the cockpit.
This is my answer to her betrayal, to his sabotage. I am number one.
With a final stroke, The ink dried. He didn't blink against the blinding flashes. He held the signed contract to the window, his cold smirk carved in stone. The message was silent and absolute.
Let them choke on this image. I am not a reserve. I am the champion.
He set the contract aside, revved the engine, and drove into the Monaco tunnel. The revenge was complete. The paddock was quiet now. Haruto walked alone, the trophy heavy in his arm. The rain no more than a cold mist. In the barren garage, Sakura still slumped on the concrete, her sobs raw and unguarded. The divorce papers lay soaked in champagne.
I threw away everything. For him. And now he won't even answer my calls.
Kazuki stood frozen, his bloodied fist still pressed against the wall. The monitor replayed Haruto's podium gesture on an endless loop.
I broke my own knee to escape him, and he still climbed over my back.
Haruto paused at the garage tunnel entrance. The harbor lights flickered on across the water, and the first stars pierced the clearing sky.
They were never my rivals. They were just weight I had to shed.
He turned his back on the paddock and stepped into the tunnel. The darkness swallowed him whole. On the wet asphalt behind him, confetti floated in puddles. The grandstands were empty, save for the echo of his name. Haruto, the reserve driver, was a ghost of the past. Only the champion remained, Monaco. 1 week later, the divorce papers lay signed on a lawyer's desk. Haruto's hand, steady and cold, pushed them across. Sakura sat opposite, her mascara perfect but her eyes hollow. She reached for the pen, her hand trembling.
Haruto, I am sorry for everything. Please, let's just talk once.
The time for talking was months ago. Sign, and we're done.
She signed, tears finally spilling. The ink dried like a final verdict. Haruto stood, buttoned his jacket, and left without a backward glance. Outside, cameras flashed. Haruto stepped into the Monaco sunlight. A champion, a free man. On the other side of the city, Kazuki's hospital room was dim. His contract with the rival team had been terminated.
No team, no woman, no career. I am the ghost now.
Haruto returned to the circuit, not as a reserve, but as the face of the team. His helmet bore the number 1.
She was right to leave. She set me free. Now, the road is mine.
A private celebration in his honor. Champagne glasses clinked, sponsors smiled, but Haruto stood apart, a cold island in a warm sea. His phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. Haruto, please, I need to see you one last time. I'll be at our old cafe, please.
Our cafe. The one where I proposed. She's using memory as a weapon.
For a moment, his thumb hovered over the reply button. Then, he scrolled up, the old messages, the lies, the divorce decree.
She chose him when it mattered. Now she wants my comfort. But I am not a cushion for her regret.
He knew if he went, she would cry, apologize, promise, and maybe he would break. The old Haruto would have gone. With a single tap, he deleted the message, then the conversation history. Then her contact. Each deletion a small, cold liberation.
I am not the man who waited 3 years for a seat. I am the champion. The past is a ghost.
He turned back to the party, raising his glass. The champagne tasted sweeter than ever. Down at the old cafe, Sakura waited until dawn, but the chair across from her remained empty. Another morning, Haruto's phone rang. Reina's voice, cool and certain, that FIA just opened an investigation. Kazuki's scooter crash. We leaked the evidence.
It's over, then. No more hiding. Let the world watch.
On every screen, the news broke. Kazuki's Monaco crash was staged, footage of his deliberate fall, insurance records, and his secret negotiations with the rival team. The rival team held a press conference. We have terminated Kazuki's contract with immediate cause. A lifetime ban loomed.
He staged it. The scooter, the knee. He used me from the start. I threw away my husband for a man who never loved me. I am the fool.
In his dark apartment, Kazuki watched the news, his face a mask of fury. He hurled a chair into the television, screaming until his voice broke.
Everything gone. All because of that damned reserve driver. How did he beat me?
Haruto sat in the paddock, the trophy placed on the table before him. A journalist asked if he felt pity for his rival. He didn't blink.
Pity is for people who need it. I gave everything to this sport. They made their choices. I made mine.
Sakura came to the paddock one last time, no longer the brilliant wife of a champion, just a woman in a plain coat, eyes hollow with regret. Haruto emerged from the garage, helmet in hand, surrounded by engineers. His eyes found hers, and for a fleeting second, the world slowed.
She expects the old Haruto. But he died the morning she handed me those papers.
She called his name, a desperate whisper that was swallowed by the noise of the paddock. He walked past, as if she were a stranger. She crumbled then, weeping alone by the barrier, her final attempt at reconciliation shattering into silence. In his dawn, Suzuki received official FIA ban. Motorsporty was ashed.
I planned everything perfectly. How did a ghost destroy me so completely?
Haruto settled into the cockpit for private testing. The engine hummed, a familiar heartbeat. He was home.
The road behind is littered with those who betrayed me. But the road ahead is clean, wide, and mine.
He pressed the throttle, and the car shot forward into the tunnel, leaving Monaco and all its ghosts in the spray. The new season opened under crisp sunlight. Haruto strode into the paddock, the number 1 on his car, the championship patch on his suit. Reina stood with a new contract, already signed months ago, and raised it before the gathered press. The message was final. Haruto was the foundation.
I have everything they said I'd never get. And yet, the cold remains. It's my shield now.
In a small apartment, Sakura watched the season preview on an old television. Her phone was silent, her ring finger bare. Kazuki, banned and forgotten, sat in a dark room, surrounded by shattered trophies. The broadcast played Haruto's interview, and he threw his glass at the screen.
I don't race for revenge anymore. I race because I am the best. The past is a ghost that can't haunt me now.
He pulled on his helmet, the visor snapping shut like a door closing. The cockpit swallowed him, and the engine roared awake.
The divorce envelope, the smirk on Kazuki's face, the cold rain of Monaco. All of it fades when the lights go out.
The lights flickered out and the grid surged forward. Haruto's car leaped, a predator unleashed on a clean, wide road. And in that moment, Haruto was not the betrayed husband, not the reserve driver, not the ghost. He was simply, irrevocably, the champion. In a quiet apartment, Sakura packed the last of their shared memories into a cardboard box. A wedding photo, a dried rose, a faded race ticket.
He'll never forgive me, and I don't deserve it.
She sealed the box and pushed it into a closet. Then she walked out into the street, the sunlight cold on her skin. In a dark room, Kazuki sat among shards of his ruined trophies, the FIA ban crumpled at his feet. He stared at nothing.
I have nothing. I am nothing.
He picked up a shard, then let it fall. Even his rage had burned out. Only emptiness remained. Haruto stood on the podium alone after another win. The champagne warm, the crowd's roar, a distant hum.
The cold is all I have left. But it's enough.
He walked into the garage, the number 1 gleaming on his car. The future was his, and it was empty. But it was his. He pulled on the helmet, the visor snapped shut and the engine roared. The ghost was buried, the champion drove on. Sakura found a small job in a cafe far from Monaco. Her days measured in coffee stains and silent apologies no one heard. Kazuki vanished from the public eye, his name a cautionary tale whispered in paddocks, his trophies sold for scrap. Haruto raced on, season after season, his name etched on trophies, his heart a cold engine that never missed a beat.
They called me a ghost once. Now I am the legend they can't outrun.
Sometimes, in the quiet of the garage after a win, he would look at the old divorce envelope, kept in a drawer, not out of love, but as a reminder of the fire that forged him.
Without that morning, I would still be the dummy. She freed me by betraying me.
The screen flickered once more, showing the record books. Haruto, Monaco Grand Prix winner. The greatest comeback in history. The crowd had gone home, but the echo remained, and Haruto, the cold champion, climbed into his car one last time, the engine a familiar growl, the track a long, empty road stretching into the dark.
Drive. Just drive. The past is a ghost. I am the champion.
The lights of Monaco faded in his mirrors. Only the road ahead mattered. Only the cold, perfect, endless road.